Hello, and thank you for joining me for this video. My name is Ileane Smith, and I'm with IleaneSmith.com. In 2009, I started blogging, and the very first blog I had was a WordPress.com blog. Then in 2010, I started Basic Blog Tips. You guys have probably heard me talk about Basic Blog Tips, and if you're not familiar with it, it is one of the premier blogs on the internet for blogging tips, social media optimization, and YouTube. Well, in late 2015, just last year, I started a new blog, and it's called IleaneSmith.com. And on IleaneSmith.com, I intentionally did not allow comments. And there's a few reasons why. And I just want to ask you, I'd love to have your feedback. What do you think? Is Google ruining blog comments? Well, let's take a step back. Let's go back to basic blog tips. Blog commenting was always seen as being a really good thing. It was a way to connect with your fellow bloggers. It was a way to answer questions of your readers. It was a way to build community around your blog. And I absolutely loved it. Back in 2010, 2011, 2012. And I think it may have been in 2013 when things started to take a turn. It started to take a turn because of the changes to Google's algorithm and the value of links. And this became a prevalent problem. Let me give you a little statistic. Currently, on Basic Blog Tips, there are over 43,000 comments that have been posted on that blog. Now, I use the native WordPress commenting system. And as everyone who has a WordPress blog knows, you need to have some spam plugins on your blog. Akismet is one that, is put out by the folks from Automatic, the same folks that make the WordPress software. So most folks have Akismet. There's others. There's one called Anti-Spam, which is one that I'm using now. But over the course of time, we became so enamored with comments that there were also plugins developed that would enhance the commenting experience. For example, a commenting plugin that I've loved over the years is called Comment Love. How appropriate. From my good friend Andy Bailey. And Comment Love gave a little extra incentive for people to leave comments, but it also gave a little love to folks that were leaving comments on your blog. And what it would do, it would let people share a link to their latest blog post. So it was really something that was meant to build community. People would be able to hover over your profile, get a little bit more information about you rather than just seeing your name or your social media links. But they will also be able to see some of the other comments or some of the other blog posts that you had commented on a particular blog. I mean, Comment Love plugin was the bee's knees. I love that plugin so much that I actually even started writing blog posts over on the Comment Love blog, and Andy and I became very close friends. But what happened was really, it's nobody's fault. It's not Andy's fault. It certainly wasn't my fault. And all the other bloggers that love and still use the plugin Comment Love. But what happened was people began to be so desperate to get links. And this is the part where I ask the question, did Google ruin comments? Because Google uses links as a signal to evaluate whether a website is good, because it looks at a great blog and it says, oh, this great blog is giving these other blogs links. So that's like a signal that says, hey, that blog is great too. So therefore, people would thought of ways that they could get links that may have been unwarranted, that may not have been the intention of the blogger, because someone like myself, for example, like I said, I have 43,000 comments on my blog. Now, who in their right mind has time to go and investigate 43,000 comments to see if the blog is legitimate, if it's worthy to give a link? So, in all fairness, as a blogger, we're awfully busy. We don't have time to chase these things. And so a lot of times links may have been appropriated or given in comments that were not related as far as the niche is concerned. So my blog is about blogging and social media, like I said earlier. Let's say, for example, and this is just a random example, let's just say you had a carpet cleaning business and you came and left a comment on my blog. Now, it may be a very good comment. You may have a very good question about whatever my blog post was about. But in Google's eyes, they're saying that's not a relevant comment, because this person is a carpet cleaning or a carpet service. They have no relevance to a blog that's about blogging. And so Google would kind of look at me and say, why are you giving that person links? Then, maybe your links are just not really worthy. So and I understand. Don't get me wrong. I understand that Google has to have some kind of guidelines, some kind of quality guidelines to ensure that when they're taking people to a blog post or an article on the web, that it is what they were searching for and that they're getting a good experience. I totally understand that, and I think that Google has come a long way and done a great job. But I just think it's so sad that blog commenting, something that was meant to be a community building tool and a tool where bloggers could interact with each other, ask each other questions, show each other love via plugins like Comment Love, that it is to the point now where it's ruined because someone like myself, who loves to communicate and loves to talk, doesn't want to have comments on her blog. So with that, guys, I just wanted to, get feedback from you. Please leave a comment here on YouTube. Leave a comment on YouTube and let me know, what's your situation with your blog? Are you still using Comment Love? Do you encourage comments? Do you even have comments on your blog? Now, one of the things about me with the IleaneSmith.com blog, the reason why I don't, feel too bad about not having comments there is because everybody knows that I'm a big fan of live streaming. Like right now, I'm live streaming on YouTube. I'm on blab.im every day. If anyone wants to ask me a question, if they want to build community with me, they can DM me on Twitter. They can reach out to me on Blab. I live stream on Periscope. I even do Facebook Live. I'm on Snapchat. So there's tons and tons of ways that you guys can reach out to me. I actually have a SpeakPipe page. In fact, if you have a question, if you want to just talk to me. Give me some feedback. Maybe you want to leave me an audio message. You can do that on my SpeakPipe page. There's also a new app I'm using now called Anchor. And you can find me on Anchor at Ileane. That's Ileane. Or if you're not into the apps, or if you have Android, you can leave me a message on my SpeakPipe page, which is ileanesmith.com/contact. Or basicblogtips.com/contact. Either way, takes you to the same place. And you can leave me an audio message. You can also email me, and I will be happy to have a conversation with you. But I just feel that with blog commenting going downhill the way it has, I'm not the only blogger that is no longer offering comments on their blog. There's lots of other popular bloggers that are doing it as well. As I mentioned about the 43,000 comments that I have accepted, and a lot of those comments were very high quality, fantastic conversations. It's probably some of the older ones that I probably would need to go in and clean up, and who in the world has time for that? But right now, right before I got on this video, I just double checked in my spam filter, because I do, like I said, I do have a couple of spam plugins on the blog, a Kismet, as well as a plugin called Anti-Spam. And there are 38 just in a matter of hours, because I checked it earlier today and cleaned them all out. But right now there's 38 spam comments. But you have to look at those comments to just, every now and then there's really a good one that comes through, and where a person really has a question, where they really are sincere. They're not just looking for links, and it's really sad. All those folks out there who are just spamming blogs, looking for links, or if you are someone who pays for somebody to leave a bunch of comments and build links for you that way, just stop it. Just stop doing it. First of all, it's a waste of your time, because any really experienced blogger is going to delete all of your comments, and it's just really just taking up space on the internet, and it's just a waste. So I don't want to blame Google for everything, because there's actually humans behind those comments somewhere. Even if they were generated by some kind of a bot, it was a human who wrote that program that generated that auto spammy commenting tool. Just that was just a little love tap for you, whoever you are out there. But guys, I don't want to blame Google, but at the same time, I think Google should step back a little bit from this concept of the comments or the links have to be so relevant. I mean, when you're looking at the comment section, I don't know why Google can't discern that and say, look, this is a comment, and this person is talking about blogging. So, of course, there's going to be people from all niches. Any niche in the world that has a blog is going to want to come and comment on a blog that's about blogging, right? Because no matter what kind of blog you got, it doesn't matter if it's relevant. It doesn't matter if you work for that carpet cleaning service, or if you're a window washer. You still have a question about blogging, because it's important. And guys, there's a rumor out there that blogging is dying. No, 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 no. Blogging is alive, and it's well. And I want you guys to continue to blog, continue to thrive. If you do, as I've done, and make that decision not to have comments on your blog, then be active on places like Blab and Periscope, Snapchat, and there's this new site, Anchor. You don't even have to get on camera. You can just leave each other voicemails. So with that, guys, I just want to say thanks so much for coming out. Please leave me your feedback and your comments. What do you think about this, me doing this YouTube live thing? I think it's also something that we all should try to experiment with and see what this experience is like. And with that, guys, once again, it's Ileane from IleaneSmith.com, and I will see you in the next video. Have a wonderful day.